Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports, and this is going to be a little bit different video. I'm going to talk about the Brighter Skies Best Ball, essentially Podathon is what it was last weekend. That I'm going to go through my team, kind of how everything turned out. The Brighter Skies Podathon, it was a best ball tournament. Obviously it was part of a great cause. People donated money to be raffled off into this essentially. Anybody that donated $20 or more got one entry into it. 16 individuals were chosen. All the proceeds went to the Cyber Smiles Foundation, which is a charity to prevent cyberbullying. Obviously, this was an event, when I first heard about it, it meant a lot to me, and I really wanted to try to help out the best that I could. So I tried to promote it. I donated myself. And, I was really blessed just to be a part of this great cause overall. So I thought maybe you guys would enjoy this. If you're very interested in donating to this cause, you can still do so, whether you donate to the Cyber Smiles charity itself. Check out Brighter Skies FF on Twitter or on Viridian Global by buying some Brighter Skies merchandise. That will all the proceeds of that will also go to the charity as well. So I'm going to get into this a little bit, just kind of talk about kind of the draft overall, my team, kind of my thought process and everything like that. Like I said, it was a best ball format, so just keep that in mind as well. This was a Superflex league and a tight end premium as well. So you'll see a lot of the picks in the first round were quarterbacks because of that. Probably not anything that stands out too much. Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence went a little bit earlier than I probably would have thought, but I can't really blame that there. I ended up with the 16th pick, which kind of sucks in a 16-team league. Typically, I like to be more in the middle, picking on the ends, especially when you're going against people that, kind of know what they're doing at least. Or, a lot of these people in here, they're very respected people in the industry as well. So it's more of a challenge when you have to pick in the end. So Travis Kelce was sitting here around the 15 spot, and I'm like, oh, I might get Travis Kelce to fall to me. Unfortunately, he got sniped right before me. I decided to go with Darren Waller, tight end premium, get another great tight end out there, and then followed up with a quarterback, obviously, since it was that super flex league overall. So you really need that quarterback. Tom Brady felt like a guy that was pretty safe to me, especially overall for best ball. Then we kind of got to where all these quarterbacks went in the first round. Then there's kind of a tier break. So in the third round, I was kind of looking at guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas. So those were the four guys I was really looking at. And unfortunately, 4 out of the 6 picks before me were those guys. So I ended up picking Chris Carson. He's kind of like the low man on the totem pole, especially in terms of workhorse running backs, but he's a guy that's got guaranteed touches. I think he's a very solid pick there. I followed up with DJ Moore. A little bit of the reach at the time. Maybe you could argue Kirk Cousins would have been a better pick. Looking back in hindsight, it might have been a better pick as well to get that quarterback 2 spot. But DJ Moore, those spike weeks, especially in best ball, it's definitely going to pay off if Sam Darnold's anything worth mentioning, but I think DJ Moore, the talent definitely speaks for himself. We saw a couple of more tight ends come off the board. Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, TJ Hawkinson, a couple more quarterbacks, some more tight ends with Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant as well. Then by the time we got back around to my pick, I was looking at Javonte Williams here in the 5th round. He went 2 picks before my pick. I ended up with Devonta Smith, and I think, he's just a guy that's going to be very solid this year, not going to hurt your team. He's going to have those big boom weeks that are going to help you out in best ball as well, be that primary target for the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts this season. Then I followed it up with Cooper Kupp. I was kind of in between him and Julio Jones here. With being best ball, obviously Julio is going to have those spike weeks, but there's still a little bit of injury concerns there. I think Cooper Kupp definitely is going to be a factor down in the red zone once again this year. And at this point, I thought I was going to get a quarterback, but then this was the big second quarterback run. I figured I'd get maybe one of these guys coming back to me. Hopefully, Zach Wilson was kind of the guy I was looking at. But by the time I went back and picked again, really wasn't anybody left. You were looking at guys like Mac Jones, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyrod Taylor, Drew Lock, Taysom Hill, Jordan Love, Jimmy Garoppolo, those type of guys. And it just really wasn't exciting by the time I got back to picking. So I went with Michael Carter. I think, he's a guy that I really like this year. I think he's going to be that main running back for the Jets this year, and I think he's got a lot of upside. If you see here, this is my strategy in a lot of leagues, whether it's best ball, dynasty, stuff like that, kind of take one running back early and then kind of push the other ones off. I was able to follow Michael Carter up with James Conner and Darrell Henderson, 2 guys that I both really like in this format. I like them a lot for best ball, especially because you don't have to guess when their good weeks are going to be. And I think between these 3 guys, you have a solid running back 2, and then Chris Carson gives you a decent, solid, kind of floor running back 1, high-end running back 2 type of guy. So overall, kind of set structure. Then we get down to where I picked Drew Lock. At this point, I just need another quarterback. Drew Lock's going to be a starter. I think where I got him in that 10th round, that's a great value if he's starting all season. I do expect Drew Lock to kind of take a step forward. And just overall, I think he's a decent pick up at this spot, considering where some of these other guys went, kind of between him and Taysom Hill. I thought about taking Taysom Hill and Drew Lock, but I really wanted Henderson, and I wasn't sure if he was going to make it back to me or not. Then you kind of look, kind of had a whole bunch of tight ends runs in here as well once again. By the time we got to my next pick, I went with Rondale Moore, just out of the Cardinals. He's another one of these guys I probably like a little bit more in best ball, just because he's going to get that volume, so he's got a safe floor, but then when he has those boom weeks, you don't have to guess when his boom weeks are going to be either. I do like that fit in Arizona overall for him. Then I followed up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's definitely got a great opportunity with the Lions. Will he be the main guy for them or not? That remains to be seen, but I think he's got a great opportunity there. Tyrell Williams is another guy that I really like. He actually went one pick after mine down here because my next two picks were Wayne Gallman and Jacoby Myers. Wayne Gallman, I've been picking up pretty much everywhere for San Francisco 49ers. There's so many guys in that backfield with Raheem Mostert and Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson Jr. once he's healthy, but Gallman's just kind of like the guy very low down there on ADP. I think he's a pretty safe guy. I think, he's going to be that guy probably on third downs because he's the guy that's proven in pass protection. So I think that's something Kyle Shanahan's really going to value. Then Jacoby Myers is just a guy I really like. I know they brought in Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne, but are they major upgrades over Jacoby Myers? We'll have to see. I think he's still going to be involved in this offense, and kind of at this point where you're taking him, getting some of those spike weeks definitely worth the payoff. Like I said, Tyrell Williams went one pick after that. I was kind of hoping he'd fall back in that 15th round, but he didn't quite get there for me. Then we went down to where I grabbed two more tight ends because at this point I only have Darren Waller. Some of the other guys that I probably eyeballing a little bit before this were gone, but I went with Dalton Schultz. Obviously, you got Blake Jarwin returning this year, but is he going to be healthy? Are they going to cut him? Because they could save some money by cutting him. I know they gave him that contract. Is he guaranteed to be a hold of Dalton Schultz at this point? There's a lot of questions there. When you're playing best ball, you're looking for some upside at tight end. Why not pick him at this point? And then after that, I followed up with Harrison Bryant. Really like Harrison Bryant a lot, especially stashing him a lot in dynasty leagues. And, Cleveland likes throwing the tight ends, especially in the red zone. So you get those random spike weeks with Harrison Bryant, definitely could pay off. And then if Austin Hooper misses time, which he's done the past 2 seasons, Harrison Bryant could be a big, big value there once again. Then we were moving back around. I know Tylan Wallace was taken at the 17-5. He's a guy I really wanted to get back to me, but just didn't happen. I pretty much own Tylan Wallace everywhere. You guys know if you've been watching my channel for a while now that I'm a pretty big Tylan Wallace truther, but unfortunately I was not able to grab him here. I was kind of looking at Chris Evans as well. Didn't get back to my pick either. I ended up picking Quadri Olison for the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's kind of the backup running back there. I know everybody's hyping up Javen Hawkins, but at this point you're looking for a handcuff running back in a best ball format. Quadri Olison could be the guy if something happens to Mike Davis. Then I followed it up with Josh Palmer for the Chargers, I think. And I kind of said this on the podcast as well. Anybody that's tied to Justin Herbert could have value. Mike Williams has been known to get hurt. If Josh Palmer can step into that role, step up, he can have some spike weeks that really pay off. I don't think there's anybody else too notable in here. These are kind of the guys you expect to go in the later rounds of best ball. Then I had my list set. I got a little distracted, and I ended up auto-picking Jalen Guyton and Anthony Schwartz for my list. Looking back, one of these two picks would have been Zach Pascal for the Colts, because it just seems like he's randomly got a couple good weeks here and there. Definitely very valuable for best ball format. And then, if something happens to Paris Campbell once again, if T.Y. Hilton gets hurt, definitely has some opportunity there. So that's the only thing I change out about one of those. Probably be Jalen Guyton. I think Schwartz definitely has a little bit of upside too, especially in best ball. He's one of them guys that he can catch a 70-yard touchdown any given week. And in best ball, that's really going to pay off for a 20th round pick. So I definitely don't have a problem with him. I'm trying to think who else I was looking at that point. I think I was looking at Will Disley too, because I think there's a chance he still becomes the starter at tight end for the Seahawks. I know they brought in Gerald Everett, but nothing's written in stone at this point in time. We've seen Will Disley really spike off as well. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the draft that I did have. I would definitely like to add another quarterback, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this team. I think it's a team that could be pretty competitive overall for this season. I think there's some other teams that were really good as well. A lot of different interesting strategies between the people that were in this draft. Some good conversation between them. Quite a few of the people on here were part of the Podathon as well. So just shout out to everybody involved in this process. And I'm definitely looking forward to how this season plays out for this best ball league. And I think it's going to be a good one. And, at the end of the day, it's all for charity, and it's really trying to help other people out. And with that being said, once again, if you guys have the ability to do so, check out Brighter Skies FF on Twitter. Donate to Cyber Smiles. Buy some Brighter Skies gear on Viridian Global. And be sure to be on the lookout for next year, too, because it sounds like there's going to be a Brighter Skies 2.0. So definitely be sure to check out all the news for that. And like I said, Brighter Skies FF on Twitter. Follow it for all the updates for Brighter Skies in general. But that's pretty much all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. Hopefully you get a little bit of insight into my best ball strategy for the Brighter Skies best ball tournament that I was a part of. Definitely honored to be a part of it. Definitely shout out to Ben and Julian for putting on this great event and really just trying to help out a good cause overall. Like I said, it's something that really meant a lot to me personally, trying to prevent cyberbullying and everything that gets involved with that. And, if you guys ever need to reach out to somebody, need someone to talk to, definitely be sure to reach out to me, whether it's in the comments, on Twitter, via email, anything like that. Definitely always open to you guys, and I'll respond as quickly as I can. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is truly one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, and talking all the different football news this season. Like I've been saying, going to be putting out about 2 to 3 videos a week. Going to be doing some deeper dive into Dynasty content. I got a couple of different guests there, just trying to get everybody lined up right now. Definitely looking forward to that, giving you guys some Dynasty advice, tips, strategies. And if you guys have any questions about Dynasty or redraft football coming up for this year, definitely be sure to leave them down in the comments, and we can address some of those in those future videos as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.